Hi, I'm Kim from Organizational Learning and Talent Development. In my time as a manager, I've had the opportunity to lead centralized teams where everyone has been at the same location. We've all worked together. I've also had the opportunity to lead teams that have been separated by time and geography. Since the pandemic, I had to learn on the fly, like many of you, how to lead a team virtually, and now how to lead a hybrid team. In case you didn't know, a hybrid team is one where some team members work on site while others work virtually or remotely. This might be a permanent arrangement where the folks that work on site and the folks that work remotely are always in those locations, or it might be an arrangement where people are scheduled to take certain days in the office and work remotely on others. And hybrid teams aren't new. They've been around for a while. The numbers have increased since the pandemic as organizations work to balance the needs and safety of their employees with those of their customers, or in the case of the county, the residents that we serve. There are different challenges to managing a hybrid team, so let's take a look at a few of them. The first one is unintentional exclusion of remote staff. So with part of the team on site, hallway conversations or water cooler conversations are happening again more spontaneously. And ideas and decisions are getting made and shared in some of those instances, and your remote employees' voices aren't being heard. Culture. Employees on site often interact with other departments or teams more easily who are on site. And so they learn a little bit more about the organization's culture, or they're more easily or quickly in touch with larger priorities in the organization, especially as they change quickly. And then as leaders, we might have unconscious biases about how we view work. So maybe it's, how can I manage them if I can't see them? Or are they really being productive? Or it's just easier to give this project to this employee because they're on site more often. And this is a kind of proximity bias where the work of those on site is incorrectly seen as different or more favorable than those working remotely. And this can lead to issues like us versus them mentality instead of a cohesive team, or remote workers might worry about limited career opportunities. The second challenge is unclear protocols or expectations. The set of expectations that you and your team created when you were on site or when you were working virtually may not work for the hybrid team, or may not work in the same way. The third challenge is communication gaps. When you've got part of your team on site and part of the team remotely, what each set of the team knows or learns can be very different. The on-site team might simply be walking down the hall and find out something about an organizational priority. The folks that are working remotely might be working with other remote teams. And without intentional, deliberate connection, that information gets lost. The fourth challenge of managing a hybrid team is the potential for employees to disconnect from the team or the organization, or lose focus on priorities. At times when you work remotely, you can lose sight of the priorities of the organization or the meaning of the work. It can be very isolating. And if something isn't done to bring the team together, you can find yourself losing cohesion. All of the challenges that we've talked about can lead to a team that isn't working together, and it can negatively impact their performance. So what's a manager to do? Well, in our next video, we're going to look at what are some of the things managers can do to overcome these challenges and lead a high-performing hybrid team.